Hello and welcome to Time and Tide. Unusually, but delightfully, I have company today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Fergus Nash.
Hello, everyone.
Amazing. Are we going to do that? We don't even have to. I could have just sung it. So Fergus is here for a couple of reasons. Because I wanted you to meet Fergus. Fergus, do you want to just speak in dulcet tones for 10 seconds?
I can put on my watch review voice if that helps.
Do you remember that
Yeah.
voice? This voice is familiar to you, right?
Quite sleepy.
Don't read the comments.
I love reading the comments.
Fergus reads the comments on his videos, and he's also, it turns out, the perfect person to help me with what's in front of us today. Before we get to that, what are you wearing on your wrist? Tell me below. I always ask because I actually genuinely always want to know. And the first thing I said to Fergus was, what the hell is that? That is a beautiful Bicompax chronograph.
So, yeah, this is a Baume Mercier, just I think 1950s or 60s chronograph, 18 karat gold. It's got the Landeron 48 movement. I actually traded this old rotary. It also had a Landeron 47, but then I realized it had radium lume and there was a slight crack in the crystal. So,
And the Geiger counter maybe made a few little noises.
yeah, and I was just like, started feeling phantom itches on my wrist whenever I put it on. So I just thought, you know what, let's see if I can keep the movement. Traded it with some guy on a forum. Worked out well. I think I'm pretty happy.
And what we were just saying, hi Baume Mercier, Fergus and I have an idea. Why don't you do a re-edition of this watch and maybe steal some market share back from Phelan Murray and Dan Henry and William Messina, everyone else doing Bicompax chronographs, because look at this beautiful thing. I am wearing a Seiko Cocktail Time. I think it's called Whiskey Time or something similar. This watch is just never worn. I just never ever wear it. But then I saw Fergus's glasses. I saw a gold watch. I thought I'm going to try and match this game. I'm wearing the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time. Love this watch, even though I don't wear it because I don't know what to wear it with. It's unusual. It's got a brown dial, gold, kind of tawny.
Anything.
Anything. Okay, there's the answer.
There you go.
That's not what we're talking about today. I have some mysterious paraphernalia, I would call it, on the table. We have this in preparation for a watch to go on it. We have this, which is a letter from a friend in Poland, which is not in there. Aha! There's a letter here. And it reads, "Hi Andrew, we are proud to send the T2077 2077 watch, one of just 8 produced so far. And thus begins the story. This is a watch by Bloney Watches in cooperation with CD Projekt SA. And that's where
CD
I lost.
Projekt Red.
There you go. That's why Fergus is here. I don't know what the heck is going on with this. So I'm going to hand this to you and say it has Cyberpunk 2077.
Correct.
And in it is a watch. And I'm going to hand over to Fergus now because I don't know what's going on.
So this is a watch that, well, I guess it's come out recently, based on the game that came out probably around this time last year, if not a little bit earlier. But essentially, it was delayed, and then it was delayed again. It was delayed a bit more. So people were really keen for this to come out and sort of see what the characters you could make are, sort of the different pathways you could go down. But actually, it ended up being a little bit linear. You could choose different pathways, but it sort of put you on the same path regardless. And, you know, they promised that they're going to fix it and they're going to come out with updates, DLC, that kind of thing. But in the meantime, we've got watches like these.
So, I mean, all I know about the watch from this handy letter is that it is in titanium. It is $500. It obviously has the time display. I quickly adjusted the time using the only 2 buttons on the watch. So it was easy to operate. Obviously it has a look that brings to mind the Hamilton PSR. And then of course, as we dig deeper into the story of Cyberpunk, it turns out there's another crossover with the Hamilton PSR, which is that Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he plays basically not the main playable character, but sort of the main character behind the rest of the story and the way it's driven. His name is Johnny Silverhand. He's a rock star. He's got a metal arm. And he's a homicidal maniac.
Okay.
Thankfully, he doesn't actually wear this watch in the game, so people aren't going to be sort of worried about you committing acts of domestic terrorism while wearing it. But yeah, I think it does do quite a good job of summarizing that sort of, you know, the industrial, the cyberpunk nature of sort of the distant future. And why wouldn't you want a little yellow LED titanium watch in a world that chaotic.
And all I can really add in addition to that, apart from the fact that it's pretty cool, like it's a strong look, which is why the PSR's done so well, is that this watch is titanium, which is different to the Hamilton releases so far. And Blony is a brand that was relaunched in 2012. It was a Polish brand that was around in the 50s and 60s. Beyond that, it's mysterious. This was sent to me by a Polish friend. Hello, Lucas. Thank you very much for sending this through for a look. Yeah, Fergus, thank you for illuminating me about the entire context for this watch, because for me, I just looked at it and said, okay, well, that could maybe fit your cyberpunk needs if you don't have anything of that nature. There's a little bit more to it, and I think the homicidal maniacs are really just the Cyberpunk 2077 fans who, who I think if you do a little Google of this watch, there's some pretty upset people about the fact that there's a watch and no more DLC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure CD Projekt Red have, I'm sure this didn't take up too much of their time in terms of actually making the watch, but we'll see.
So thanks for watching today's Cyberpunk Hour with Andrew and Fergus. This will not be a regular segment. Do not consult your guides. Thank you for sending me this watch for a review. I'm going to size this. It is in titanium. And actually the only other comment I'll say from my perspective, which is not knowing anything about Cyberpunk at all, is that on the wrist, this feels a little like a Ocean 2000 IWC, which again had that sort of the same space age type of aesthetic. And the bracelet actually is a little similar. The links are thicker than the Ocean 2000. That's more of a serpentine bracelet. Actually, the Ocean 2000 really has a lot in common with the Moser Streamliner. That's another story for another day. This watch feels nice and cool on the wrist because of the titanium. It's about $500. And it also comes with an NFT, which is your proof of ownership, which is something, Ferg, we are going to see sweeping the watch industry in years to come. Box and papers, bye-bye. No tears from me. I cannot stand the thought and stress of having box and papers everywhere. Storage units full of box and papers is what I need as a watch addict. I'm not going to miss that.
No, me neither.
So thank you, Blony, for sending us this watch. And here is something that you can look at while you wait for more Cyberpunk content.